Good morning, children. Welcome back to English class. Today we are going to start the fourth lesson. Name of the lesson is The Rat Trap from Flamingo. This lesson was written by Selma Lagerlöf. She was born in 1858 and died in 1940. Was a Swedish writer whose stories have been translated into many languages. This story is set in the middle of the mines of Sweden, which are rich in iron ore. The story is narrated in the form of a fairy tale. It gives us the message that the emotions of love and acceptance can reform others. The Rat Trap is a story about a rat trap seller who leads a very poor life as his earnings are very low. He has to resort to thievery and begging to make both ends meet. He is alone in this whole world and leads a miserable life. So he starts knitting up various kinds of thoughts. One of these thoughts is of supposing the whole world as a big trap. His views are that the world offers us various types of bites in the form of comforts of life. This in return traps us into the rat trap of the world and leads us to various types of miseries. Every night the peddler had to search for shelter as he has no home. One evening he was offered shelter by an old crofter. The next morning he stole the crofter's money which he had earned by selling his cow's milk. To safeguard himself, the peddler chose the path through the forest, which was scheduled, but soon found himself trapped in the forest as he wasn't able to find the way out of the dense forest. Later on, he finds a way to a forge and takes shelter there. Something unusual happens. The iron master mistakes him as an old friend and invites him to his house. The poor peddler rejects the offer due to the fear of being caught. Soon he is invited by the ironmaster's daughter. The next morning he is somehow stopped by the ironmaster's daughter for Christmas Eve, even after being caught that he was a peddler, not Captain Stelhead. Next day after Christmas, when the ironmaster and his daughter visit the church, they came to know that the man is a thief who had stolen money from the old crofter. The ironmaster and his daughter repent for sheltering a thief and wonder what all things he had been stolen by that time. Here comes a twist as instead of stealing, the peddler gives the ironmaster's daughter a rat trap. She finds a letter of thanks and the stolen money inside the rat trap. The peddler thanks Edla for her kindness and requests her to return the stolen money to the crofter. This story gives us the message that goodness in human being can be awakened by any time with your own good deeds. So we will start. I'll read out the paragraph and I'll explain the paragraph wise. Here the first paragraph goes, once upon a time there was a man who went around selling small rat traps of wire. He made them himself at odd moments from the material he got by begging in the stores or at the big farms. But even so, the business was not especially profitable. So he had to resort to both begging and petty thievery to keep body and soul together. Even so, his clothes were in rags. His cheeks were sunken, and hunger gleamed in his eyes. Here, the new word, odd moments, hard words. New odd moments means a short period of free time. Sunken means lowered. Gleamed means shone. Past tense of shine, shone. Here goes the explanation of the first paragraph. Once there was a man who used to sell small rat traps made of wire. These rat traps were made by him in his free time. He used to collect the materials required by begging from stores or big farms. Still, his business was not earning him any profits. Therefore, he had to beg or steal in order to survive. His clothes were old and torn. His cheeks were lowered inside due to malnutrition, and one could easily see the hunger in his eyes. Then now the second paragraph. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond who plods along the road, left to his own meditations. But one day this man had fallen into a line of thought which really seemed to him entertaining. Monotonous means boring, vagabond, wanderer, plods means walking heavily. Here, the author says the life of a rat trap seller was very sad and boring. He was homeless and slowly, with heavy feet, he walked along the road, lost his own thoughts. But one day he got lost in a series of thoughts which he found was interesting. Now we go through the next paragraph. He had actually been thinking of his rat traps when suddenly he was struck by the idea that the whole world about him, the whole world with its land and seas, its cities and villages, was nothing but a big trap. It had never existed for any other purpose than to set bites for people. It offered riches and joys, shelter and food, heat and clothing. Exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork as soon as anyone let himself be tempted to touch the bite. It closed on him, then everything came to an end. Here, bite means food placed on a hook to trap a rat. It is referred to the comforts of life which is offered to a trap someone. It means convinced. Here the author says that in this paragraph, the man was thinking about the rat trap and suddenly a thought came to his mind that the whole world, which includes land, seas, cities and villages, was similar to a rat trap. He thought that there was no meaning of the existence of this world. It was nothing but a temptation, just like cheese and pork, which we offer as bait to catch the rat. So, according to him, as soon as someone tries to comfort himself with joy, food, and shelter, he at once gets trapped into his rat trap, which is known as world. Next paragraph. The world had, of course, never been very kind to him, so it gave him unusual joy to think ill of it in this way. It became a cherished pastime of his during many daily plodding to think of people he knew who had let themselves be caught in the dangerous snare, and of others who were still circling around the bite. Here, cherished means to love or protect. Jerry means dull, plodding, walk heavily, as I said in the last paragraph. Snare means trap. This paragraph says, no one in the world had never ever been kind to the rat trap seller, so he started thinking ill of others. It became a favorite pastime for him. During dull moments, these thoughts made him happy, so he continued with thinking ill of those who were known to him. He could imagine those people who were already trapped in the rat trap of worldly things and also those who were about to get trapped in it. Now we will read the next paragraph. One dark evening, as he was trudging along the road, he caught sight of a little grey cottage by the roadside, and he knocked on the door to ask shelter for the night. Nor was he refused. Instead of the sour faces which ordinarily met him, the owner, who was an old man without wife or child, was happy to get someone to talk to in his loneliness. Immediately, he put the porridge pot on the fire and gave him supper. Then he carved off such a big slice from his tobacco roll that it was enough both for the stranger's pipe and his own. Finally, he got out an old pack of cards and played emojis with his guest until bedtime. Here, trudging means uh, walk slowly. Carved off means to divide something into parts. And the jollies means what? The game played with playing cards. This paragraph explains that one evening the rat trap seller was walking very slowly. He saw a little grey cottage which stood by the road. He went up to the cottage and knocked at the door so as to get shelter for the night. Generally, he was not helped by anyone. By this time, he was welcomed by the old man into his cottage. He was a lonely old man without wife and kids. The old man was happy to get company that night, so the old man gave him some porridge to eat and then shared his tobacco with the guest. After this, both played cards till bedtime. Bedtime. Next paragraph. The old man was just as generous with his confidences as with his porridge and tobacco. The guest was informed at once that in his days of prosperity, his host had been a crofter at Ramjo Iron Works and had worked on the land. Now that he was no longer able to do day labor, it was his cow which supported him. Yes, that Bosie was extraordinary. She could give milk for the creamery every day. And last month he had received all the 30 corner in payment. Here, generous means liberal, confidences means what? Secrets, prosperity, riches. Crofter means a person who works on a renter farm. Bossy, Latin word boss used for a cow. Creamery, a factory that produces cheese and cream. Corner is the currency of Sweden. Here, the author says that the rat trapper felt that the old man was not very liberal in sharing his porridge, but also is not only liberal in sharing his porridge, but also his secrets. He tells him that he was a rich man when he used to work on the rented farm. As he was old now and couldn't work, so he had to depend upon his cow for his living. The cow gave him enough milk every day to be sold in the factory that produced cheese and cream. The old man said that he was able to earn 30 kronor last month because of the cow's milk. Next paragraph. The stranger must have seemed incredulous, for the old man got up and went to the window, took down a leather pouch which hung on a nail in the very window frame, and picked out three wrinkled 10 corner bills. These he held up before the eyes of his guest, nodding knowingly, and then stuffed them back into the pouch. Here, incredulous means unbelieving. Stuffed means to fill up with something. In this paragraph says that the trap seller did not believe that the old man's words, that a cow could earn him so much. Therefore, the old man took a leather pouch which hung on a window and took out three notes of a 10 corner each, which were all crushed. He showed those currency notes to make him believe his words and then kept them back in the pouch. Next day, both men got up in good season. The crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow, and the other man probably thought he should not stay in bed which the head of the house had gotten up. They left the cottage at the same time, and the crofter locked the door and put the key in his pocket. The man with the rat trap said goodbye and thank you, and thereupon each went his own way. In a good season means early enough. So what happened next morning? Both the rat trapper, seller and the crofter woke up early as the crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow. Even the rat trap seller felt that as the owner of the house had vacant, so he should also leave the bed. They both came out of the cottage at the same time. The old man locked the door and went to his work. The rat trap seller also thanked him and went his own way. Next paragraph we will read. But half an hour later, the rat trap peddler stood again before the door. He did not try to get in, however. He only went up to the window, smashed a pane, stuck in his hand, and got a hold of the pouch with the 30 corner. He took the money and thrust it into his own pocket. Then he hung the leather pouch very carefully back in his place and went away. Peddler here means seller, smashed means badly broken. So what happened here? After about half an hour, the rat trap seller returned to the cottage and he broke down the window pane and where the pouch hung. He took away the money and kept it in his pocket, but the pouch back at his place and walked off. Next paragraph. As he walked along with the money in his pocket, he felt quite pleased with his smartness. He realized, of course, that at first he dared not continue on the public highway, but must turn off the road into the woods. During the first hours, this caused him no difficulty. Later in the day, it became worse, for it was a big, confusing forest which he had gotten into. He tried to be sure to walk in a definite direction, but the path twisted back and forth so strangely he walked and walked without coming to the end of the wood. And finally he realized that he had only walking around in the same part of the forest all at once. He recalled his thoughts about the world and the rat trap. Now his own turn had come. He had let himself be fooled by a bite and had been caught. The whole forest with its trunk and branches, its thickets and fallen logs closed in upon him like an impenetrable prison from which he could never escape. Your tickets means what? A dense group of bushes. Impenetrable means what? Impassable. Here, what happened? The peddler was very quite happy as he had money in his pocket. He then thought of walking through the forest as it was unsafe to walk on the highway because he feared being caught. So initially it was not difficult to walk through the forest, but later on he caught confusing for him as he forgot his way. He tried hard to walk in the right direction, but in vain, as he found himself at the same place again and again. At this point of time, he started thinking that now he himself was caught in the trap of the world just like other people. He was fooled by the bite of money which he had stolen from the old man's house. The forest seemed like a prison full of trunks and branches. It was like an impassable prison. Next paragraph I'm going to read out. It was late in December. Darkness was already descending over the forest. This increased the danger and increased also his gloom and despair. Finally, he saw no way out and he sunk down on the ground, tried to death, thinking that his last moment had come. But just as he laid his head on the ground, he heard a sound and a hard, regular thumping. There was no doubt as to what that was. He raised himself. Those are the hammer strokes from iron mill. He thought there must be people nearby. He summoned all his strength and got up and staggered in the direction of the sound. Here, gloom means dark, despair means hopelessness, thumping means the sound of the some heavy object beating, summon means gathered, stagger means to walk with difficulty. This paragraph says that as it was the month of December, it got dark early. As it got dark, his hope of escaping the forest reduced. The danger of to his life increased, so he did his feeling of being hopeless. There was no way left for him. So he sat on the ground and was so tried and terrified that he thought that this was his last moment and soon he would die. As he laid his head on the ground, he heard a very strong, regular sound. It was a hard sound that was coming at the regular intervals. He soon realized that these sounds were the sounds of hammer strokes from iron mill. He thought that he could find some people nearby. With this thought, he gathered some strength and started walking with a great difficulty towards the direction of the sound. Next paragraph. The Ramjog ironworks, which were now closed down, were not so long ago a large plant with smelter, rolling mill, and forge. In the summertime, long lines of heavily lodged barges and cars slid down the canal, which led to a large inland lake. And in the winter time, the roads near the mill were black from all the coal dust which drifted down from the big charcoal carts. A forge means a shop where metal is heated. Barge means a long, flat bottom boat for carrying freight on canals and rivers. Scow means a flat bottom boat used for transporting cargo to or from ship in harbor. Sifter means descended slightly or as if sprinkled from a sieve. Smelter, a machine which in which metal is melted from form into a shape. Rolling mill means machine to roll metal into sheets. Here, the paragraph in this paragraph it explains like that Ramjo Ironworks was a large plant which had shut down few years ago. It has smelter, rolling mill, and a forge. In summers, long bottomed boats carrying the material would come down the canal, and which led to a large inland lake for supplying material to the mill and in winters. The roads turned black because of the coal dust that came along due to transportation of the charcoal cracks. During one of the long, dark evenings just before Christmas, the master smith and his helper sat in the dark forge near the furnaces waiting for the crude iron, which had been put in the fire to be ready to put on the anvil. Every now and then, one of them got up to stare the glowing mass with a long iron bar, returning in a few moments, dripping with perspiration through as was the custom. He wore nothing but a long shirt and a pair of wooden shoes. Anvil means a heavy iron block with a flat top and concave sides. Perspiration means sweat. Here it says that on one long dark evening near Christmas time, the master smith and his helper were sitting in the dark forge, which was built near the furnace. He was wearing a long shirt and a pair of wooden shoes. Both of them were waiting for the pig iron, which was put inside the furnace for it to be ready to put onto the anvil. Anvil is a heavy block with as I said, a flat top which is used to shape the metals. They looked on to the stair or the liquid which was very hot. As they could bear the heat of the few minutes, each of them would return and sweating profusely. And we will continue the next remaining part of the lesson. Until next video, I will be explaining the remaining part of the lesson. Until next video, you read the first, you go through the lessons properly, and keep learning, keep watching, and until next, till then, goodbye.